Oh, look there. Look there. How about that? A monkey, huh? The first thing that came to my mind when I saw this monkey is a monkey that I read about when I was a child in books, and when my kids were little, we read about this monkey in books. And guess what? I bet some of you have had the same books. How many of you can think of the monkey that I'm thinking of? You know what his name is? Curious George. And you know, how many of you have read Curious George books? Curious George is so fun. He's sort of he's a mischievous monkey. Did you ever notice how he gets in trouble? He always gets in trouble. And how about the zookeeper, the man with the, how do we know him? He's the man with the
yellow hat.
The big yellow hat. And boy, Curious George sure needs the man with the big yellow hat, because that guy, he is curious. And he's always trying to find something else out, and he's trying to find answers, and his searching for answers and gets him into some trouble sometimes. And thankfully, the man with the big yellow hat always bails him out. But they're delightful stories to read. I hope you read. It's a good thing to learn to read, and to not only to learn to read, but to read. It's good for everybody. You never outgrow reading, because there's always something you can read and learn and grow in. So Curious George gets himself in trouble. How many of you ever gotten yourself in trouble by being curious? You wanted to see, I wonder if the stove is really that hot. My mom and dad said, don't touch the stove when it's hot. And you thought to yourself, I wonder if it's really that hot. How many of you found out it's really that hot? Yeah, you found out. They were telling you the truth, weren't they? So, you know, being curious is a good thing. In fact, it's great to ask great questions. Why is this such and this way? What makes this work? How do I do this? How do I do that? There's always something to learn. And actually, asking questions is a good thing. And in your spiritual life, it's a good thing to ask questions, because the Bible is a Bible that has answers. There are not every answer is out there, but every answer you need is out there. God tells us that He hath given us through His precious promises all things pertaining to life and godliness. All that you need, He has the answers for. And so you ask. And in fact, sometimes people are afraid of the truth. You should never be afraid of the truth, because the truth is always going to be true, and it's going to be your guide. The Bible describes God's word as truth. So ask those curious questions. And you know, with Curious George, as he was asking those curious questions, he gets off track a little bit. And I'm so glad that the man with the big yellow hat is always there to help him. And you know, God has helpers that He wants to put into your life. He has in your life. Those helpers to help you from getting off track sometimes are your parents. Sometimes it's other adults that He puts in your life. Sometimes it's your pastor who preaches the Bible and helps us to understand God's mind and how God reveals Himself. Sometimes He puts teachers into your life, and sometimes He puts good, God-honoring friends that help you to. They're just helpers, and every one of those helpers, maybe you ought to sometime give them a yellow hat. Say, here, color a yellow hat, and say, here, you're a yellow hat person. You help me sometimes, and I get off the rails, I get into trouble. You're a yellow hat person. And every one of us needs to be curious like George, asking good questions and seeking God's answers, and be grateful for yellow hat people that help us when we get a little out of the way, that help us to stay on track. Hey, all of that from this monkey. Who brought this monkey today? You did. Did you ever hear of flying monkeys? Did you ever hear of flying monkeys? You never did? Well, isn't Wizard of Oz, don't they have flying monkeys on Wizard of Oz? No, I don't know. It's been a long time. Well, I'll tell you, would you like to see a flying monkey today? Here you go, flying monkey. Hey, there we go, flying monkeys. Very good. Let's give this box away to somebody else. Oh, would you like this box? She would like this box. Let's see. Let's give it to a young man this week. Okay, sir, that's your box to have. Thank you, guys and gals. You can go back to your seats at this time.